Hey everybody, we're back. We're going to be playing some more Warlords Battlecry 3. Last episode I did as best I could to explain every little aspect of the game. Felt like I was out of breath for the entire episode. Hopefully this time we'll be a little more calm. Maybe we'll get into some actual commentary instead of just explaining what everything is. So today we're going to start the campaign, which I believe should start with a cutscene. If we lose sound, I believe it's all subtitled, and I will do my best to read it to you. But for now, we're going to jump into the campaign. We are going to select our character Aiden that we created in the last episode. We can go to more info, and we can get just about every bit of information we could ever need to know. Obviously, we're terrible at combat. These are our skills and what they mean. Titles, I believe, are just like unlockable. I mean, it's not unlockable. It gives you, just based on your gameplay and what you've done, it's a mild amount of stat tracking. Retinue, this tells us who is in our current recruitable general slots. And then the items that we currently have none. That will change soon, I imagine. And we'll go ahead and start. It was only a matter of time before the Celentine merchants ventured too far from their trade routes over the South Seas, searching for the rich lands that might lay beyond. But they were unprepared for the terrors they would awaken and the devastation they would unleash upon the face of Etheria. The lands they discovered were rich in gold and silver. Their inhabitants, the snake-like Srathi, called the land Kashan, and it was not long before the Celentines began to slay these peaceful creatures and take the treasures for themselves. Soon all manner of freebooters, profiteers, and adventurers began flocking to the shores of Kashan, and it was on one such journey as a huge Celentine vessel sailed past Mordanian, the Sundered Isle, that a frightening, almost unnatural storm was seen in the distance. Fortunately, the crew was curious and put to shore to take a look, for although Mordanian was guarded by the high elves and forbidden by the mortal races, something about that storm seemed terribly wrong. Sorry that there is no sound. I can't control that. I will restart the game shortly. Okay, your campaign begins on the Sundered Isle, where you have landed to check out an unnatural storm. All you need to do is click on your current location, which is the Sundered Isle. You will be presented with a list of possible actions. As the story progresses, new locations will become available. To move around the map, just click on the new location. To access more options or return to the main screen, click the menu button. Thank you. Yep, no sound, so I'm going to restart, and we'll be back in a moment. We're back. We have sound again. Although, as soon as we get into a game, it may drop sound again. I apologize. It is an extremely old game that is not really supported. I do wish, out of all the remakes and garbage that we get every year in video games, they never seem to release the ones I want. I would love to see a remaster of Warlords Battlecry, and I think that Command & Conquer, they think the RTSs are dead just because the last Command & Conquers didn't do well, even though that was less about the genre itself and more about the fact that they were just producing shitty games. But anyway, I'm going to click the Sundered Isle. You'll see we have more info. This isle was the place where Prince Mordain cast the spell of sundering in 1032. Today it is guarded by high elves who stop any demons coming through the rift that was created. The race is high elf, and the diplomatic rating, they currently view me as an enemy. And we have one option, which is to find out what caused the storm. So we're going to do that. You'll see it takes us to this screen, giving a brief overview of what is going to happen, and it allows us to choose which race we're going to play as. Currently, we only have our default race, which is the undead. Now, unfortunately, the undead are not great for many of the early game missions, so we may die, even on the very first mission, because our hero is not very combat-oriented, and because the undead tend to have very weak starting units. The mission name, Explore Sundered Isle. We will get 40 experience when we complete it. It is considered to be easy. We will need to search for clues as to what happened on the Sundered Isle. I may take a few troops with me, but I may not build anything. And again, because we have very weak troops, this may be an issue. We'll click OK. Hopefully we maintain sound once we're in the game. We have the option of taking up to 10 10 points worth of army units with us. These are powerful units, but they are a lot of points. And I do think currently we just want some tankier boys. We'll take 2 liches. We'll take 2 liches. And we'll take a wraith, which is not great, but the liches are some of the best units, so hopefully that will carry us through. We did maintain sound, which is a good sign. You must search the island for clues about what is happening. You may not build anything. We must keep our hero alive. That is a very scary part of the detail. You can display this information by pressing Alt-I. Click. No building is a special rule. There we go. There's something very familiar and very evil about this storm. I must know what it is. And this is the captain in the ship. I already told ye that I'd bring ye ashore and no further. Then you are a coward. Why else would you stay behind? Everybody knows that the Sundered Isle is off limits to the mortal races. High elves guard it, and they kill those that set foot on it. It may have escaped your attention, Captain, but I am not one of the mortal races. Is that because we're undead? Is that special dialogue? Yes, well, the legends say that they guard a gate to hell on the island. I'll not be going near it, but you can take 6 of my archers. They'll look after you. So, in addition to the units that we chose early on, we are getting 6 archers. Why do you not give me more? I can understand wizardly folks such as yourself might need a bit of extra protection, so if you get in trouble, come back and see me. Thank you. Because I like that, because that apparently does regard us as a wizard, and so will give us additional bonuses. I guess I'm going to be a frontline unit in this particular exploration, because all of our other units are back row kind of people. Oh, first couple enemies. These are demons. It is a floating infantry unit. Cleave is a special attack that deals significant damage. I believe they cleaved our wraith. Our heart is beating in the background. I believe this is because we took a fair bit of damage. We also don't have the ability to heal ourselves, I'm just now realizing. Maybe we can cast Vampirism, which allows all of our units to drain health when we deal damage. That could be very useful, although our mana is very low and we only have a 77% chance of success. We're going to continue exploring the Sundered Isle. I don't remember the proper direction to go, so we're exploring the southern area. We've only encountered... We want this guy up here. He's one of our best damage dealers. More enemy units. Our hero is taking quite a bit of damage. We also lost our wraith, which is really unfortunate. See, here is a treasure box. We will send our hero unit to stand on top of it, and it will bring up the treasure screen. It is an Elven Ring of Greed. It will automatically generate 45 crystal and stone per minute, but it lowers our spellcasting chance, which we cannot abide as we are a spellcasting race. I think this is the wrong way, so we're going to go back and we're going to go north instead. Currently we have it set so that they will move at the same rate of speed as the slowest unit. So for instance, if we just select them, oh no, they're moving about the same speed. Move everybody up. We could go back and see about getting more units, but I don't think very many have died, so I don't know if he will give them to us. Man, our mana is going up very slowly. Get him. Oh, and one other thing that I should have noticed by now. The liches have a special ability which allows them to raise piles of bones into skeletons, which we are going to use once these guys decay into bone piles. This will give us a few more units, although the skeletons will be almost immediately killed when they get into combat. Still, any bodies that slow down the damage to these other units, that is a win. Do they not turn to bone piles? That would be very unfortunate. They don't. Okay, well that was a waste of time. I definitely saw some piles earlier. It must have been from a different unit. I'm just going to follow the path here. I'm going to pull the hero back because he's taking a fair bit of damage at this point. We do have health potions, but the health potions restore health based on the level of your keep, which we currently don't have a keep. So they would only restore 10 points of health. We did lose an archer who we can convert to skeletons. I see this guy still isn't helping us, which is a bit unfortunate. This music, man, I do like the music in this game. It's very dramatic. So we're just going to wait for him to become bones. And there we've zapped a skeleton into life. And you'll see we can't do it again, and that's because this lich has its own mana pool. And we have to wait for it to be filled up before we can do this again. We're going to save those health potions for emergencies. And we're going to continue progressing. Oh, we leveled up, which apparently restores your health to full, which is fantastic. I think we want to continue bumping up our charisma. Let's not do that first. Let's exit this. So if we look at our radius, it is bigger than it was before because we leveled up our charisma, and if we level it up again, I believe it expanded our thing further. You'll see we unlocked a new skill which grants our hero, this is our hero only, +5 damage versus humans. There are, I think, 2 human factions in the game, races in the game. But we're not super concerned with that. That's not super useful. We're not really a melee fighter anyway. Although some of these skills make me think they want us to be. Because these 5 skills are melee oriented. And honestly, the only other thing a lich has going on is the necromancy skill, which is not... I haven't been loving our spellbook. So we have the ability to change the day to night and make it rain, and this is a benefit for undead because certain undead have abilities in the nighttime that they don't have during the day. Like our hero regenerates health at night but not during the day. I'm not sure what making it rain has an effect on, but I'm sure it's something. Continue on. We should have brought some frontline units with us. That was my mistake. I didn't know we would be getting archers from the captain. Fight the nightmare. Which deals quite a bit of blunt damage. Our skeleton is dead. Where are you going? Please don't. I suppose we could boost our combat stats. I don't see the sense in it when we're not really a combat-oriented character. Where do we want to go? Oh, well, more enemies, I guess. We must be getting to the end. The mini-map is pretty well revealed at this point. I guess we go up here. Can't go north anymore. That's the edge of the screen. There's a building. Oh, dying elf. At last, you've come to help. You are beyond help, Jesus. How did everybody die? What creature did this? A Srathi. I don't know how you say that. A lot of the fantasy names I don't know, so just bear with me. It came seeking help, but we turned it away. We never should have. A Srathi did this? One of the snake men from the southern continent? No, not this, but it was angry. It tore the rift between worlds, and something came through. Seems to me that you got what you deserved. Jesus, dude, calm down. They're dying. At least now we know the cause of all this. Do we? Burn down their keep. So you get additional experience for burning down buildings, which we'll try to do before the level ends, so we get just a tiny bump in experience.
You are victorious.
And we'll wait till that burns down. And we'll end the game. So we did it. First level accomplished. Not as hard as I remember. I think maybe in the original you didn't get... I think we lost sound again. Oh, this game. Oh.
Mordanian was like a scene from some warped and twisted nightmare. A huge dark portal hung in the air, evidence of the fact that some new and terrible presence had entered the world. All of the High Elven Guardians had been slain by this unknown creature, and the only clue as to what might have transpired was in the body of a single Sarathi, a snake man from Kashan, who lay dead at the very base of the portal.
Okay. Thankfully, we actually got a narration that time. We have gained a 12 plus 40 experience bonus, and there's some statistics we're not concerned about for this mission. We did get a vampire recruit. I like the vampires. And so we're going to add him to our retinue, which makes him available when we begin games. We're going to continue advancing. Completed part of the story. Typically, after important battles, you will be shown a video, which will hopefully have sound. You may now continue to explore the Sundered Isle or range further afield in search of adventure. If you wish to review your battles, you may look in your journal. If you get stuck, you may also ask for hints from the menu. Hint. Item stash. This is your item stash. It's a great place to store valuable items safely. If your character dies while having items in his backpack, they will vanish. Whenever you hear it, yeah, I just said that. Any items that he is wearing or have been put into his stash are safe, though. So we don't actually want the Ring of Greed because it lowers our spellcasting significantly. And so we'll put that in the item storage. There is a way somewhere around here to sell items and purchase different items, which we'll look at eventually. Hero information, that's what we looked at earlier. We also have options, which is just the options. Apparently you can reset the campaign, which is a neat little addition I never knew. Diplomacy, this shows us what races we are most likely to... basically, in order to play as a race, I believe it needs to be under allies. We are friends with the Dark Elves, Dark Dwarves, Demons, and Swarm. I believe this is because we're undead, neutral to a whole mess of them, and our enemies are the Knights, the Empire, and the High Elves. The Knight and Empire are the two human races. So the humans, I believe in the original Battlecry it was just undeads and humans, so naturally they would be our enemies. I guess barbarians are technically humanoid, like basically humans. And then the High Elves don't like us, the Wood Elves are okay with us, and the Dark Elves are our friends. Can't believe fairies aren't enemies, whatever. We have the journal, which gives us information. Oh, we can go back and replay the videos. So basically from now on, if I encounter a video that doesn't play properly with sound, I will come back here and we'll play it properly. We're not going to replay the one I read, but in the future this will help us. Really glad to see that. View bonuses. There are certain things that you will acquire over the course of the game that will grant you permanent bonuses to certain things, which we currently have none, and we will eventually have some. I have absolutely no idea how much time has passed. I feel like we've only been playing for 10 minutes, so we'll jump into something else. So we're still on the Sundered Isle. What can we do? Oh, that's the same information. Recapture the rift. Average, and we get 70 experience. You will need to get one of your troops to the rift in order to seal it shut. Be careful though, he who shuts it will almost certainly be killed. Do we want to go right into that? Maybe we could go south to New Silentia, which has a whole mess of stuff. We can hunt down Sarathi. We can take their treasure. Treasure would be nice. Or search for a legendary set of items. And I don't know what that means. What do we got up here? Group of Islands is home to all manner of pilots, cutthroats, thieves, and brigands. Somewhere in the center of it all, a huge dragon is rumored to live deep down inside a volcano. It is the Minotaur Island. We can search out treasure. We can see if there is any items for sale. And we can see if any mercenaries are looking for work. You'll see at the top of our screen we have this. It says 0 crowns. This is the currency in the game. It's tracking our days and time, but I don't think there's any time component to completing the campaign. I hope there's no time, because we're going to take our sweet ass time. So going up there to the merchants doesn't seem prudent. The only thing we could do is sell our Ring of Greed, and it doesn't display how much it's even worth. I think we'll go down to New Silentia, and you'll see it unlocked an adjacent tile. Apparently this is as far south as the map goes. So what do we want to do? What is the outfit? Visit the outfitter. Also, this is also a merchant, so we can sell our... Oh, we need to move it from our stash to our backpack. Sell items. It's worth 19 crowns. Yes. Don't want that. We can hunt down some lizards. Let's look at that. It's average. It will give us 150 crowns. It's centered around an old volcano. The Empire would be grateful if we could do it. Now, the Empire hate us. And I think maybe we want to be friends with the Sarathi. So maybe we'll raid a Sarathi village. You may notice this battle is marked replayable. They can be fought over and over again. Normally they do not form part of the story. Instead, they are good ways to get items and experience, making our hero stronger. For variety, replayable battles are often fought on random maps. Well, we don't want to raid their village, because I feel like that would upset them. And we want... How do they feel about us right now? Sarathi. They're neutral. I really don't want to anger them. Gifts of Coatl. Hard. You may have heard a rumor that far to the south, the Black Naga tribe guard a magical item known as the Atlas of Coatl. Part of a set of artifacts. You must slay the tribe to get the item. Well, it's listed as hard. I think, geez, I'm just not sure what to do here. Because I want to forge some alliances. Why don't we'll go back to the Rift. And, you know, I don't know how much time has passed. What I'm going to do, I'm going to call this episode here. And in the next episode, we will recapture the Rift. But for now, I need to set up a proper timer, because every time I Alt-Tab out of the game to check my time, it actually turns off the sound and freezes the game and stuff. So we're just going to call it here. And we'll be back in the next episode. We'll recapture the Rift. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.